go to the bottom of the first here on opening day. Union Catholic taking on Scotch Plains. Open the 2024 baseball season. So Union Catholic is the away team here at UC today. This game is supposed to be at Scotch Plains Fanwood High School, but it got moved as we've had some rain, so we're playing here on the turf at Union Catholic. So Scotch Plains comes up here in the bottom of the first. Vikings in the powder blue jerseys. Nick Pellegrino, the senior, is pitching for the Vikings today, and his first pitch is a strike. Leading off for Scotch Plains is Jack Sponheimer, the center fielder. And there's a strike, so Pellegrino had 0-2. That pitch is hit. There's your first out. So that brings up Joe LaRosa, center fielder, left-handed hitter for Scotch Plains Fanwood. So one out here in the bottom of the first. Ground ball through the left side for a base hit. So one on, one out for Scotch Plains Fanwood. That brings up the number 3 hitter, Chris Kennedy, the shortstop for the Raiders. Pellegrino in the stretch. And a strike at the outside corner, gets ahead with a fastball. Bottom of the first, no score. Pellegrino comes second. That pitch is grounded to third. There's an out. So the Vikings get one out there. That'll go 5-4. Force out. So the third baseman Sosa to the second baseman Anderson. So 2 outs, runner on first for SPF. That brings up their cleanup hitter, Jaden Carpian, who's the third baseman. That swung and missed. Runner on first, 2 outs. 0-1 count, bottom of the first, no score. Pellegrino delivers. That's bounced and it's blocked by the freshman catcher, Braden Morrison. Pellegrino looking to work quickly. Counts 1-1. Throws over. Vikings sporting the powder blue jerseys on opening day. There's a strike, so count goes to 1-2. Pellegrino getting ahead of hitters early. Carpian up for SPF, their cleanup hitter. Carpian steps back back in the box. Runner goes, and the throw is wide to second base, so stolen base. So Chris Kennedy gets a stolen base for the Raiders, so they have a runner in scoring position with 2 outs. It's a 2-2 count. And that one's bounced, so it goes full. Pellegrino looks for the sign from Morrison. Full count pitch. Swung on, hitting the left. And that is getting over the left fielder. Raiders are going to score a run. Throw is back in. And that's a triple for Jaden Carpian, an RBI triple, and the Raiders take a 1-0 lead. So that ball is hit hard and over the head of the left fielder. So the cleanup hitter, Jaden Carpian, drives in the first run of the season. As that pitch is bounced, it brings up Ryan Quinones, the pitcher for SPF. That ball is bounced to Pellegrino. He's going to flip to first in time, and that'll end the first inning. So Scotch Plains Fanwood gets on the board early. The score at the end of 1 inning of play, it's SPF 1 and UC nothing. Top of the second here on opening day. SPF with a 1-0 lead over Union Catholic. And leading off the top of the second is second baseman Nick Anderson. And he laces one to short. Throw across the diamond is not in time. So Anderson is in there with a leadoff infield single. Up Raiden Morrison, the freshman catcher for Union Catholic. There's a breaking ball for a strike. Noah Sosa's on deck for UC. 0-1 pitch is a bit low. Count evens. One breaking ball is low. So Vikings got a runner on first, nobody out. Nick Anderson reached with an infield single, hit to shortstop. Morrison, the catcher, in the batter's box. He takes a fastball outside, so the count goes to 3-1. A good hitter's count. That's way outside, so Vikings are in business, first and second, nobody out. We'll get a runner for the catcher, Morrison. I believe that is Aiden Quinn, the junior for the Vikings. See what Coach Coletti decides to do here, first and second, nobody out. Sosa, third baseman, a sophomore, in the batter's box. And it's a breaking ball for a strike. And Ryan Quinones is pitching for the Raiders today. Top of the second, 1-0 SPF. Sosa squares the bunt. Gets it down. First baseman throws it. It's dropped. So the second baseman came over to cover the bag and drops the ball. So the Vikings will certainly take that. So it's bases loaded. Nobody out. See if the Vikings can capitalize. Brings up Ryan Jonkelia, the Vikings left fielder, left-handed hitter. That pitch misses upstairs and away. So a big opportunity here for Union Catholic. They always like to capitalize when the opponent makes an error, gives you an extra out. Breaking ball's low, 2-0. Way outside. So you think Jonkelia is taking here. Third baseman comes over to talk to the pitcher, Quinones. Third baseman is Jaden Carpian. And there's ball 4, so an RBI walk. Jonkelia, the score is now tied at 1. So the Vikings have an opportunity to put up a big number here in the top of the second. That'll bring up the number 9 hitter, the right fielder Ryan Benvinson, the senior for Union Catholic. Bases loaded, nobody out. Score tied at 1. Opening day. Again, UC is the visiting team in this game. That's hit into center. That'll get a run home. So Ryan Benvinson gets the job done. A sac fly And the Vikings take a 2-1 lead. So it's a good at-bat there for Benvency. Gets the run in. Now with one out, the Vikings have first and second. Chris Wilson is up. He squares to bunt. Pull it back. Vikings attempting to steal. The throw is not in time. Runner comes off the bag. He's called out. Just wanted to wait there. He came off the bag and initially was safe. So now there's 2 outs with the runner at second base for Chris Wilson. Wilson swings and misses. So the Vikings could have had second, third, 1 out. Instead, they have 2 outs, still a runner in scoring position. That pitch gets away. And the runner's going to advance to third. So that's a big deal, particularly with the large amount of space behind home plate here at UC. Backstop is well behind home plate. We have the track behind the turf. That pitch is hit. In the left field, base hit for Chris Wilson. That's going to drive in a run, so an RBI single for Wilson. And the Vikings take a 3-1 lead. Greg Valori, the shortstop, comes up. 2 outs, runner on first. Wilson takes off. Throw, not in time. Wilson, he comes off the bag, and he's out. So twice in 1 inning, the Vikings steal a base, but the runner comes off the bag, overslides the bag, and is then out. So that concludes the top of the second through 1.5 innings of play. It's Union Catholic 3 and Scotch Plains Fanwood 1. To the bottom of the second, Vikings with a 3-1 lead. Pellegrino's first pitch is bounced. So the Vikings scored 3 runs in the top of the second. Raiders scored a run in the bottom of the first. That breaking ball misses upstairs. Count goes to 2-0. Ball's hit in right. Gets down fair territory for a base hit. Benvency gets it in, and that's going to be a leadoff double. So leadoff double for the designated hitter for SPF, Evan Doyle. He's batting for the second baseman, Jackson Lorenzetti. So with no outs, left-handed hitter Matt Greisman, the left fielder for SPF, comes to the plate. That bounce gets away. Runner's going to advance to third, so SPF has a runner on third. Nobody out in the bottom of the second. So Evan Doyle gets to third base. He led off the inning with a double down the right field line. So SPF will look to cut into the Vikings' lead. It stands at 3-1. That pitch is outside. There is no scoreboard here at Union Catholic today. Technical difficulties. Vikings have the infield in. As a breaking ball swung on and missed. There's strike three. Pellegrino retires Greisman, so one away. And a runner on third for the Raiders. That brings up Anthony Veglia, the first baseman for SPF. He fouled it off right side towards the UC dugout. Pitches inside. 1-1 count. Runner on third, one out. That swung and fouled off. So it goes to 1-2. So a situation where Pellegrino wanted a strikeout, going to swing and miss. Strike three, outside corner, a fastball. So just what Pellegrino was looking for. There's two outs now, runner on third. That brings up the nine-hitter, Michael Balistri, the catcher for the Raiders. And first pitch strike, Pellegrino gets ahead. Swinging strike. Count goes to 0-2. Vikings with a 3-1 lead, bottom of the second. Strike three. So Pellegrino records a scoreless bottom of the second. End of 2 innings of play. It's UC3, SPF 1 here on opening day. Top of the third, one out. Mikey Pellegrino is up for UC. He's the first baseman. He bats third in the lineup. Greg Valoria was retired on a ground out. One out, top of the third. Vikings with a 3-1 lead. And pitcher's inside. Again, Union Catholic is the visiting team in this game, even though we're here at UC. This game is supposed to be at Scotch Plains Fanwood High School, but on a rainy day, a dirt grass field is probably not going to be playable. We got a lot of rain. So the game is moved here on the turf. So the Vikings are playing as the visiting team as originally scheduled. There's a breaking ball, so 2 strikes on Mikey Pellegrino, sophomore. Nick Pellegrino, the senior, the pitcher, is on deck. And that hits Mikey Pellegrino. If I remember right, he got hit by a decent amount of pitches last season. I think I'm right about that. It's been a while. Mikey was a regular as a freshman for UC. Playing first base today. So his brother Nick Pellegrino steps in and takes ball 1 outside. So 1 on, 1 out for Union Catholic. 3-1 lead for the Vikings. That ball gets all the way to right center gap. And that's a triple for Nick Pellegrino. He squared that one up and drove it into right center, so that's an RBI triple. Run scores, makes it 4-1 Union Catholic. That brings up Nick Anderson, batting 5th in the lineup, the second baseman. Anderson holds up. SPF has the infield in. Top of the third. 1 out. That ball's hit into center field. And a catch will be made. Run's going to score. So Nick Pellegrino crosses the plate. And that's sac fly and an RBI for Nick Anderson. The Vikings take a 5-1 lead. Braden Morrison, the catcher, steps in. That's hit in right field. And a catch is made to retire the side. The Vikings score 2. End of 2.5. It's UC 5. SPF 1 here on opening day. To the bottom of the third here on opening day, the Vikings with a 5-1 lead over SPF. Nick Pellegrino, the senior, back on the mound for Union Catholic. First pitch breaking balls popped up right side, and Mikey Pellegrino will make the catch, so one pitch out to start the bottom of the third. That was Jack Sponheimer, center fielder for SPF. That brings up now Joe LaRosa, the right fielder. On deck is Chris Kennedy, the shortstop for the Raiders. So LaRosa, a left-handed hitter. Squares the bunt, pulls back, and there's a strike. That pitch is outside. Count evens at 1-1. So opening day here, Union Catholic Vikings baseball. Not the best weather, but it'll do. It's not raining right now. That's up the middle. That's going to be a base hit. So not hit particularly hard, but it'll be effective for Joe LaRosa as he gets a one-out single. Brings up Chris Kennedy. So 1 on, 1 out, bottom of the third. Vikings with the 5-1 lead. And UC is the visiting team today. There's a strike, so a fastball for a strike. Pellegrino working fast. Grounded up the middle. There's one on the first, not in time. And the Vikings record the second out at the bottom of the third. As the shortstop, Valoria made the play, stepped on second base, tried to turn the double play. But we got 2 outs. Oh, wait a minute here. Called the runner safe at second base. All right, so he didn't record the out. So it's actually first and second, 1 out. There's a strike. I'm not sure what happened there. I thought that Valoria stepped on the bag to record the second out, but instead it's first and second, 1 out. So Jaden Carpian, who had an RBI triple his first time up in the bottom of the first, that gave SPF an early 1-0 lead. Now it's 5-1 UC. That's hit up the middle. Base hit. Here comes a runner. Throw gets to the backstop. So SPF gets their second run of the game. So that'll go as an RBI single and then an error on the throw. So SPF has second and third with 1 out. As the Vikings appealed at third. Appeals denied, so it's second and third, 1 out. UC with the 5-2 lead. That's outside. This brings up Ryan Quinones, the pitcher. really help himself here. Five-two UC, bottom of the third. So Morrison comes out to talk to Pellegrino. It's a big moment early in this game. Vikings with a 3-run lead. Pellegrino from the stretch. That's hit the second. Anderson's going to come home. The throw is in time. So the Vikings had the infield in, and it paid off as Anderson throws to Morrison for the second out. So Scotch Plains Fanwood has a runner on third with 2 outs. Trail by 3. Brings up the designated hitter, Evan Doyle. That's grounded. Throw to first, not in time. So Mikey Pellegrino knocked it down, threw over to the covering pitcher, Nick Pellegrino, but it's not in time, so that's going to go as an infield RBI single for Evan Doyle. Run scores, so now the Vikings lead 5-3 as Coach Coletti comes to the mound to talk to the infielders. That'll bring up Mac Reisman for SPF, the left fielder, number 7 in the order. First pitch is outside. First and second. Ball is caught, that retires aside. So SPF scores 2 and leaves 2 stranded at the end of 3 innings of play. It's UC 5 and SPF 3. Go to the top of the fourth. Vikings with a 5-3 lead here on opening day. UC versus SPF. That's the first out of the inning. So the fly out by Noah Sosa, that brings up Ryan Jockelia. Pitcher's inside. Top of the fourth, it's 5-3 Union Catholic. And Jockelia walks, so 1 on, 1 out. I'll bring up Ryan Benderseed. Pick off the 10th, 9 in time. That's hitting the center field. That's the second out of the inning. Brings up the top of the order, Chris Wilson. Top of the fourth, Vikings with a 5-3 lead over SPF. And a stolen base. So Ryan Jockelia steals second with 2 outs. That was a strike. Ryan Quinones, the pitcher for SPF today. That's hit to the right side. In the right field, and the out is recorded to retire the side. So at the end of 3.5 innings of play, it is UC 5 and SPF 3 here on opening day on UC Livestream, UC Sports Media. So it's the bottom of the fourth. Here on opening day, the Vikings with a 5-3 lead. And there's a walk. Brings up Michael Balistri as Anthony Leg is on first base with the leadoff walk. There's a bunt, gets it down. Pellegrino throws the first in time. Down goes the sacrifice bunt. SPS has a runner in scoring position with one out. Brings on top of the order Jack Sponheimer. Grounded foul left side. So again, it's 5-3 Union Catholic. Bottom of the fourth. Runner on second, one out. Jack Sponheimer, the center fielder, leadoff hitter, in the right-handed batter's box for SPF. Nick Pellegrino checks the runner. There's a strike. Outside, good pitch, good spot. That's bounced. The count goes to 2-2 on Sponheimer. Edmondsey makes the catch for the second out. That'll bring up Joe LaRosa, the right fielder, batting second for SPF. Left-handed hitter. Bottom four, you see with a 5-3 advantage. Pellegrino with the inside move. First pitch is upstairs. Again, opening day 2024 baseball season. This is outside. popped up left side out of play. 2 outs in the bottom of the fourth. Union Catholic with a 2-run lead. It's 5-3. SPF got ahead with a run in the bottom of the first. And the Vikings went up 5-1, scoring in the second and the third. There's a breaking ball that missed. There's a strike. Fastball on the outside corner. Joe LaRosa, the hitter for SPF. Pellegrino comes set. That pitch is grounded to second. Anderson throws to Mikey Pellegrino, and that retires the side. So SPF leaves one stranded. And the score at the end of 4 innings of play, it's UC 5 and SPF 3 here on Union Catholic live stream, UC Sports Media. Top of the fifth, Vikings with a 5-3 lead. Greg Valoria leading off the top of the fifth. Short. Valoria is retired, 6-3. So 1 out, and that brings up Mikey Pellegrino. Pellegrino is hit by the pitch. That's Mikey Pellegrino. So 1 out with Pellegrino at first. That brings up Nick Pellegrino. Second out of the inning. It's Pellegrino. Nick Pellegrino pops up to the shortstop. Got a runner on first, 2 outs. That brings up Nick Anderson. Good swing there from Anderson. He fouls it back. So 2 outs, runner on first. Vikings with a 5-3 lead here in the top of the 5th. So again, 2 outs, runner on first. Nick Anderson, the batter. That's hit in a center. And that'll retire the side. So the Vikings get a base runner and leave that runner stranded. End of 4.5. UC 5 and SPF 3. bottom of the fifth. The Vikings with a 5-3 lead. Nick Pellegrino delivers a strike, foul ball. Count evens at 1-1. Pellegrino working quickly, pitching a good ball game, has the 2-run advantage. Count goes to 2-1. Chris Kennedy leads off. Shortstop for SPF. Breaking ball is a strike. Nice pitch there from Pellegrino. Got a good mix going today. The senior right-hander delivers. That's fouled off. Count remains at 2-2. So again, the Vikings, a visiting team. This game originally was going to be played at SPF, but with the rain, the game was moved here to be played on the turf. On the foul. Vikings' next game will be on Wednesday, 4 p.m. against Summit right here at Union Catholic. We will have the coverage here on UC Livestream. Tomorrow we'll have boys lacrosse here at 11 a.m. Spring season, high school sports is underway. And count goes full as that fastball misses outside. And that's a leadoff walk. So Kennedy aboard. That brings up the cleanup hitter, Jaden Carpian, an RBI triple in the first inning. The Vikings with a 2-run lead. Pellegrino will now work out of the stretch. We'll get the sign from the freshman catcher, Raiden Morris. There's a strike. Sounds like a lively crowd outside. So we're streaming inside the Union Catholic gym, watching off the monitor. They got the windows open in the gym, and I can hear a lot of crowd noise. Sounds like a good crowd today. People excited here as we got opening day baseball, and that's grounded left side. And everybody's going to be safe. So Greg Valorian, the shortstop, attempted to make that play. But now the Raiders have first and second, nobody out. So they bring up the go-ahead run to the plate. And that hitter will be the pitcher, Ryan Quinones. We'll see what the Raiders do here. First and second, nobody out. They're down 2 in the bottom of the 5th. That pitch is bounced, gets away. Both runners are going to advance. So now SPF really in business. Second and third with nobody out. So a tying run is in scoring position. Infield comes in for Union Catholic. Swung on a missed. The count is 1-1. And it's 5-3 Union Catholic, bottom of the 5th. Runners on second and third with 1 out. Nick Pellegrino delivers, and that's swung on and missed. Here's a situation you'd like to get a swing and miss for the strikeout. Keep the ball out of play. And that's grounded to third. Throw home is in time. So a big out there for Union Catholic as the infield was in. Noah Sosa made a nice play and a really strong throw. Braden Morrison makes the tag. And the second out is recorded. That's twice now the Vikings had the infield in and recorded outs at home plate. So runner at third now, 2 outs for the Raiders. And Nick Pellegrino with an opportunity to get out of this inning scoreless. That brings up the designated hitter Evan Doyle batting out of the 6th spot for the Raiders. That pitch is bounced, a breaking ball, nice play by Morrison. Again, the Vikings with a 2-run lead. They're ahead 5-3, bottom of the 5th, 2 outs, runner on third. 1-0 count, and that pitch is bounced. Morrison blocks it again. Swung on a miss. Count goes 2-1.
Because my body motion is telling that defender, if you don't slide here, I'm going to go wide. But because we're trying to work on combination, I know that I'm going to get outside his hip, he's going to get to my left side, and I'm going to cross over, and I'm going to be on down.
There's a strike at the knees. Good pitch from Pellegrino, so the count evens at 2-2. Pellegrino working quickly, gets the sign. Goes over to first. It's first and third, 2 outs. That's back to Pellegrino. He'll throw in time. For the second out. So it's now 2 outs, second and third. That pitch is bounced. Swung on and missed. Now 2 strikes. Mac Reisman. And strike 3. And that retires the side. So great work by Nick Pellegrino. He has pitched a very good ball game for Union Catholic. And that's the end of 5 innings. The score, the Vikings 5 and SPF 3 here on opening day on Union Catholic Livestream, UC Sports Media. top of the sixth, the Vikings with a 5-3 lead. There's a breaking ball strike. That breaking ball's inside. Fouled off. As Braden Morrison, the catcher, leads off out of the sixth spot for UC. SPF got ahead early in the bottom of the first. Went up 1-0. The Vikings then scored in the second and third to take a 5-1 lead. SPF then scored 2 in the bottom of the third. That's where we stand right now as Morrison strikes out swinging. So 1 away. That brings up the third baseman, Noah Sosa. It's a good ball game here on opening day. Both teams would love to get in the win column. First game of the season. Vikings right now with the 2-run advantage. Ryan Quinones on the mound for SPF. He's pitched the entire game for the Raiders. 5 1/3 innings. There's a strike. Giving his chance, he's giving his team a chance to win the game. Valiant effort on the mound.
If I stay along this box, I can cut the box off, meaning I can get inside.
There's a strike. So 2 strikes on Noah Sosa. Ryan Jonquilia is on deck. Sosa batting out of the 7th spot for UC.
I'm going to tell you to cut off the box, or you're going to play outside the box. If I'm talking about playing outside the box,
that's grounded foul.
Outside the box when I'm attempting to finish.
And the Vikings wearing the powder blue uniforms today on opening day. They are the visiting team, leading 5-3 in the top of the 6th. Scoreboard's not working today, so technical difficulties. Hopefully we'll have that up and running on tomorrow for boys lacrosse. Wednesday will be baseball again. Boys lacrosse plays tomorrow 11 a.m. and Wednesday we have baseball at 4 p.m. And there's strike 3 as Sosa goes down looking. 2 outs, no one on. That brings up Ryan Jonquilia, the left fielder and left-handed hitter for Union Catholic. Gets ahead with a strike, working quickly like Nick Pellegrino is. Nice when the pitchers work quickly. No pitch clock in high school baseball.
You're not going to have that license next year because he's going to assume that you know what you're supposed to be doing. So take advantage of that. Go down and learn it. I know y'all play basketball. I know you think that because you've been around basketball.
And Jonquilia gets hit in the leg.
But I'm telling you,
he'll run down to first base. So the Vikings get a base runner with 2 outs. See if Coach Coletti puts him in motion to get a runner in scoring position. So Ryan Benbitzy batting at the 9 spot. The senior will come up for UC. I'm going to say Jonquilia is on the move.
When you guys get to high school,
Coach Coletti,
you got the
always
perfect
aggressive.
person in your house. I'm asking him as many questions
Always
as
looking to
I
put
can.
pressure on the opposing defense.
You gotta ask as many questions
As you
as
see, John Killian checked his wrist with the
the dumb question is you not
signs.
saying that, and then we wind up running into this mistake, and then you expect for me to not.
The runner has a wristband, the hitter has a wristband, the coaches have a wristband. They have a chart with all the signals. As John Killian is on the move, that's going to drop in a base hit.
It's a confidence thing. Because you're gonna have to do it around.
So Ryan Benvency with a 2-out single.
And that becomes really
And the Vikings now have runners at the corners. As they go to the top of the order, center fielder Chris Wilson, the junior,
focused on being the best player. I don't care nothing about
will step in the batter's box for the Vikings.
you know what's going on. And maybe you
An opportunity here for Union Catholic to expand their lead. Vikings are up 2.
the information too.
That's bounced at the catcher's feet.
Try and get y'all to be ready.
No advance
You gotta understand.
by Benvency.
So ball's gonna be in your right hand.
So I was saying with the signs, a lot of teams now have wristbands with signs in charts. So then the hitter has the wristband, all the offensive players do. So if you're up at the plate, you're on base, the coaches have them. So then the coach will call out numbers. There's the first to third move. And that gets away. That gets away. John Killian is going to score. Benvency advances to second. That's a big run for the Vikings. So on the first to third move, throw gets away. And the Vikings now lead by 3. So that first to third move is still legal in high school baseball. It's not in Major League Baseball. It hasn't been for a few years. But Quinones throws it away. And now the coach of SPF will come out and talk to his infielders. Benvency goes over to talk with Coach Coletti, as does the hitter Chris Wilson. So the Vikings have a runner on second. With 2 outs, they lead 6-3 in the top of the 6th, opening day. So I got to talk about the signs. The coach will give number signs. So the coach will call out 3, I think it's 3 or 4 numbers. So it'll say 761, and then the players will look at their wristbands, look at the chart, and they'll be able to tell what the signal is. So teams use that offensively, and they use that also to call pitches. So you'll see the catcher with a wristband. There's a strike.
As soon as we see you buzzing again in the game, let's go.
Sometimes you'll see the pitcher with a wristband.
And now, my 15-year-old gonna get a dunk today.
There's a strike.
So what I'm saying, your starting point, push.
You still see teams use hand signals, but a good amount of teams will use the wristbands, use the charts now, and the number signals.
Good.
Coach Coletti actually uses a chart. He has a chart with numbers on there. So the person, the coach calling the pitchers, that gets away. Throw to third, not in time, so Benvency's in there. 2 outs. Vikings have a runner on third. Chris Wilson at the plate. And that's a breaking ball. Nice play by the catcher to keep it in front, get a lot of room behind home plate here at Union Catholic. A lot of room between home plate and the backstop. And Wilson checks his swing, so he walks with 2 outs. So now the Vikings have runners at the corners. It'll bring up Greg Valoria. So Vikings up 3, have a chance to expand their lead. I'm going to guess that Wilson is in motion first pitch. Coach Letty likes to be aggressive, likes to put pressure on the opposing defense. He doesn't go for the pitch. There's a strike. First and third, 2 outs. Vikings with a 3-run lead. There's a strike. As you see Wilson checking the signs. Valoria back in the box. Quinones comes set. Wilson's off. And that gets down to right field. 1 run's going to score. Here comes Wilson for the 2nd run. Valoria around 2nd, heading for 3rd. And he is in the 3rd with a 2 RBI triple. A huge hit for Greg Valoria. Now the Vikings lead 8-3. So a clutch 2-out opposite field triple for Greg Valoria. As the SBF coach comes out, he's going to take Quinones out of the ball game, change pitchers. So we'll take a break while the new pitcher warms up. Vikings with 2 runs so far. 3 runs so far here in the top of the 6th. They lead 8-3. We'll be right back here on opening day on Union Catholic Livestream, UC Sports Media. Back here on UC Livestream. Vikings have an 8-3 lead in the top of the 6th. They've scored 3 runs so far here in the top of the 6th inning. A big 2-out, 2 RBI triple for Greg Valoria. He's on 3rd base right now. Mikey Pellegrino is up for UC, and there's a breaking ball strike. The new pitcher for SBF is Matt Capozzolo. That swung on and missed. Fouled off right side. Mikey Pellegrino up for UC. Nick Pellegrino on deck. 2 outs, top of the 6th. Runner on third. Vikings with the 5-run advantage. Pitch is outside. Fouled off. Pellegrino up there with 2 strikes. Capozzolo comes in relief for the Raiders. And Mikey Pellegrino walks, so runners in the corners, 2 outs, and that brings up the cleanup hitter, the senior, the pitcher, Nick Pellegrino. Check swing there. The Vikings with the 5-run lead, so they got a good lead. Never enough runs, particularly in high school baseball. Vikings would love to get a couple more here as Pellegrino hits that hard foul. Feel good with the 5-run lead, but again, you can always score more, can never have enough runs. First and third, 2 outs. Nick Anderson on deck for UC. Capozzolo comes set. That's strike 3 in the outside corner. So Nick Pellegrino goes down looking on that fastball. So the Vikings leave 2 stranded, but they score 3 runs in the top of the 6th. End of 5.5 innings of play. It's the Vikings 8, the Raiders 3. Here on opening day on UC Livestream, UC Sports Media. the bottom of the 6th, Nick Pellegrino back out for the Vikings. Pitched very good ball game today. There's a strike. Again, I've mentioned a few times he's working quickly. He's in a good groove, throwing strikes, mixing it up well. Very good start to the season for the senior right-hander. He's committed to Ramapo College as he strikes out the first batter of the inning. He will play baseball at Ramapo next year. Came over to Union Catholic as a sophomore. Hit a home run on opening day, his first game for the Vikings, his sophomore year. It was opening day at Union. And a solo homer to left field. Tied the game at 1. It's a great victory for the Vikings. Extra innings, a 4-2 win on that day. That game was on April 1st, so it was 2 years ago today. Got one out here in the bottom of the 6th. That was Coach Coletti's first game as the head coach of Union Catholic baseball. That's grounded through into center field, so a base hit. 1 on, 1 out for the Raiders. So that was Michael Ballistri, the catcher, who reached on the single. He'll be run for. Courtesy runner. That brings up the top of the order. Jack Sponheimer, center fielder for the Raiders. Again, I was talking about opening day 2 years ago at Union. Coach Coletti's first game as the head coach of Union Catholic. He was an assistant coach on the varsity level prior. Similar weather that day, I remember. It's cloudy, there was some rain. It's quite windy. I don't think it's as windy today as it was that day at Union High School. And a terrific victory for the program. Pellegrino, first game as a sophomore with the solo home run again, tied the game. Swung on and missed. So 1 on, 1 out. Bottom of the 6th, Vikings with an 8-3 lead. There's strike 3. So Sponheimer goes down looking. 2 outs. That'll bring up Joe LaRosa, the right fielder for SPF. He's a left-hand hitter. That's hit in center field. The catch is made by Chris Wilson. That retires aside. So Nick Pellegrino has pitched a terrific ball game here on opening day for the Vikings. No runs here in the bottom of the 6th for the Raiders. At the end of 6, it's UC 8 and SPF 3 here on Union Catholic Livestream, UC Sports Media. they got one out in the top of the 7th. Union Catholic with an 8-3 lead. Braden Morrison, the catcher, is up for the Vikings. Nick Anderson was retired to begin the top of the 7th. And Anderson, second baseman for UC, and at the plate now is the catcher, Morrison. Noah Sosa is on deck. Morrison, freshman, played a very solid ball game behind the plate today for the Vikings. There's a strike from Capizzola, who came in relief for SPF last inning. Replaced Quinones. Pitch a strike. It looked like a breaking ball on the outside. Bounced. So the Vikings have 5 sophomores in the starting lineup. 2 juniors. Grounded to third base. And nice pick there by the first baseman. There's 2 away. That'll bring up Noah Sosa. 5 sophomores. 2 seniors. 1 junior and 1 freshman. A lot of potential for this team, a lot of talent. Young team, but also with good veterans. Yeah, the senior Nick Pellegrino on the mound today. Ryan Benvisi, a senior in right field. The junior in the starting lineup is Chris Wilson. The freshman, as I mentioned before, is Braden Morrison, the catcher. And the sophomores are Greg Valoria, Mikey Pellegrino, Nick Anderson, Noah Sosa, Ryan Jonquillo. And there's a strike. It's Sosa, so 2 outs here at the top of the 7th. Here's a breaking ball strike. Ball, base hit up the middle. Noah Sosa. So he ran hard down the first base line. Now to the plate for the Vikings is Ryan Jonquillo, the left fielder, batting out of the 8th spot. Ryan Benvisi on deck. Top of the 7th. Runner on first. was Sosa reaching a two-out single up the middle. Ryan John Killian, the left-handed hitter at the plate. Sosa takes off, throw to second. Not in time. A good throw by the catcher. Sosa's in there with the head first slide, so the Vikings now have a runner in scoring position with 2 outs. And you can never have enough runs, so it'd be nice if the Vikings could get Sosa across the plate. They lead by 5. It's 8-3. Swung on and missed. That'll retire the side. So Sosa reached on a 2-out single, but he's left stranded at second base. End of 6.5 innings of play, Union Catholic with the 8-3 lead here on opening day on UC Livestream, UC Sports Media. Pellegrino delivers high here in the bottom of the 7th, so the Vikings looking to wrap up an opening day victory. Pellegrino looking to go the distance. Fouled off. Pellegrino's worked quickly. He's been really in a groove, mixing up his pitches. Really locked in. So he gets a sign from Morrison. That pitch is upstairs. That's a leadoff walk. Here comes Coach Coletti. See if he makes a change. We're just going to talk to Pellegrino. Not sure if someone was warming up in the bullpen. Well, someone was. As Coletti takes the ball for Pellegrino, who delivered a great outing today for the Vikings on opening day. He goes 6+ innings. But he gives the baseball to the senior Matt Weddle. So Matthew Weddle comes in. Done a real nice job for the Vikings over the last couple of years. As a pitcher, very versatile. Throws a lot of strikes. So Weddle's going to warm up. And we'll be back in a moment. Bottom of the seventh, Vikings lead 8-3. To the action here at the bottom of the seventh. Vikings with an 8-3 lead here on opening day against Scotch Plains Fanwood. Nick Pellegrino went 6+ innings for Union Catholic. Matthew Weddle, another senior right-hander, is on the mound for the Vikings. Runner on first, nobody out. Weddle delivers a strike. Jaden Cyprian, cleanup hitter, is up for the Raiders. Weddle throws lots of strikes. Gets ahead 0-2. Struck him out swinging. A breaking ball there from Weddle. He retires. Carpian. One out. One on, one out. Bottom of the seventh. That'll bring up checking here in the 5 spot. That'll bring up Ryan Quinones, who was the starting pitcher. There's a strike. Weddle gets ahead. Really just pump the strike zone. Breaking ball is hit in the air. And that's going to be caught. Chris Wilson makes the play. There's 2 away here at the bottom of the 7th, so the Vikings are 1 out away from victory on opening day. really solid performance for UC. Got the job done offensively. Fell behind 1-0 bottom of the first, but then scored multiple runs in both the second and the third inning, took a 5-1 lead. SPF scored at the bottom of the third, made it 5-3. Then the Vikings scored 3 in the top of the sixth, expanded their lead to 8-3. That's where it sits right now. Evan Doyle is up for SPF, designated hitter. That pitch is hit in the air. Out of play. Again, watching here on the monitor of the gym, sometimes it's tough to tell where the ball goes. That'll come set. And delivers. Bounces the dirt, gets away. Runner will advance a second. It's a bounce in the dirt, but it's turf. Everything is here. Everything here is turf on the UC field except for the mound. The mound is dirt. Some turf fields have a turf mound. I really like that we have a dirt mound here. I think those turf mounds are tough to pitch on. And that's skied in the air. That should do it. And the catch is made by Ryan John Killia, and that concludes the ball game. So the Union Catholic Vikings start the season on a really good note. A very impressive 8-3 victory today against their crosstown rivals, the Scotch Plains Fanwood Raiders. So everyone, thank you for joining us today here on opening day. Again, final score UC 8, SPF 3. We'll be back here on the UC live stream tomorrow as UC boys lacrosse team will have their opening match of the season. That match will take place, start at 11 a.m. And then on Wednesday, the baseball team will be back in action at 4 p.m. right here at Union Catholic. They will be taking on Suffolk. So again, thank you so much for joining us today. We'll see you tomorrow here on Union Catholic.